Hey guys, Dusty here. Today I'm going to be reviewing the Altra Torin 4.0. So prior to getting this shoe, I have never ran in an Altra. Didn't really know much about the brand other than they made zero drop shoes. And when this one came into my local running shop, I decided to get a pair and try them out. So the Torin 4.0, like all other Altra shoes, has balanced cushioning or zero drop. So basically what that means, if you're unfamiliar, is that your heel and forefoot are level, whereas most of the other running shoes out there are going to have anywhere from a 4mm drop all the way up to more than a 10mm drop. So that means your heel's going to be sitting 10mm higher than your forefoot. So having a zero drop shoe is a lot more natural, kind of like barefoot running, and it's just going to promote a more efficient running style. I personally run in a wide array of different drops of shoes. I run in the Torin, which is 0, and then I have a huge array that are about 4mm, and then I even have a few race shoes that are up over 10mm in drop. So a wide range. I'm definitely more mindful of my running mechanics when I'm wearing my Ultras, and I like this shoe because unlike some of the other zero drop shoes I've had in the past that were extremely minimal, they were basically just a covering for your foot just so you didn't actually have to go barefoot. The Torin has quite a bit of cushioning to it, so there's quite a bit of stack height even though it is zero drop still. So to get into some specifics about the shoe, like we've been talking about, it's zero drop, and my men's size 9 weighs in at 8.75 ounces. As you can see, it has a foot-shaped toe box, so it allows your toes to splay out naturally. Definitely one of the huge benefits to Ultra running shoes. Like I said, I haven't ran in previous iterations of this shoe. However, I find this shoe very, very cushiony, very spongy. And looking up on the internet some other reviews on this shoe, a lot of people are saying that this shoe is not as cushiony as previous versions. So for me personally, I think this shoe has more than enough cushion. I can't imagine the other ones being more cushiony, but supposedly they were. So even though the toe box is nice and wide, the rest of the shoe actually hugs my foot pretty good. I know some people have complained that they cannot get the heel narrow enough, so if you have a really narrow heel, this may be a shoe that you want to avoid. I have a pretty normal width foot and the shoe fits me great. So what do I use the Torin for? So I've been running in it for about a month or a month and a half, and I've been using it for mostly easy runs, a few long runs, and even a couple of tempos. If you've watched my channel before, you'll know that I'm a huge fan of On, and especially the Cloud Flow model. And lately I've actually been finding myself choosing the Ultra over the Cloud Flow. I think I still prefer the Cloud Flow overall as a shoe, but I'm definitely becoming a big fan of the Ultra. It's nice and cushioned. It feels like one of the most cushioned shoes that I have. And it's flat, it's zero drop, right? So I'm a lot more mindful of my mechanics when I'm wearing this shoe, as opposed to something else that has, a big thick heel and a big drop and you can't help it to heel strike. And I prefer the Torin mostly on the road. I have done some crushed gravel with this shoe, and it was fine for that. But for the most part, you'll want to stick to pavement only with the Torin. And for me, would I race in this shoe? I would consider racing maybe a marathon in this shoe. It probably wouldn't be my first choice. It's just, for myself, it's slightly too cushioned for me to be a race shoe. I like a lot more stiff and firmer feeling shoe when it's time to go really fast on race day. I think for the average runner out there, this is going to be a great all-around shoe. This is something that, just like me, you can do your easy runs in, you can do your hard runs in, and I think a lot of people are going to really like this shoe as a race shoe, from everything from 5K all the way up to a full marathon. Price-wise, these shoes definitely don't break the bank. I believe the Torin retails at $120 US, or about 160 Canadian. So I guess that's not really inexpensive, but there's certainly a lot more premium price shoes out there than the Torin. And if you're someone who's a little bit more curious about barefoot running or zero drop shoes, I think this is the perfect gateway shoe into zero drop running. So if you're interested in getting your own pair, I'll put a link down below in the description where you can find a pair and save 10%. And if you like my review, make sure to give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't yet, make sure to subscribe for more everything running, triathlon, and nutrition related.